this strategic planning review workshop will focus primarily on ensuring that we transition as a country from analog to digital. There are so many risks associated with failure to achieve full digitalization of our radio and television services across the country. Some of the challenges that we face currently is that we have 38% of television coverage in our country, and we have 62% in terms of FM, in terms of radio coverage in our country, which means Transmedia, as the signal carrier, has compromised media sovereignty in our country. So we trust and believe that this session is not going to bring inertia, is not going to allow intellectual laziness amongst board members, directors, and stakeholders. This brainstorming session and cross-pollination of ideas is going to allow Transmedia as an institution to achieve media sovereignty, to achieve information ubiquity across the country. Yes, by virtue of the low coverage in terms of television and radio in our country, we've allowed social media superiority in our country. And this affects our technological sovereignty, the BSA, and the motor vehicle registration legislation, in order to deal with some of the legislative challenges that have ensured that the national broadcaster works efficiently. And at the same time, some of the challenges that have been highlighted also include a change of legislation in terms of ensuring that the revenues that are generated by Transmedia as an institution that account for plus 70% of the revenue are coming from broadcasting players. That the change of legislation from a monetary value to a percentage will totally transform the numbers that you generate as an institution. At cost-cutting measures, yes, 10% of your income comes from your real estate. But in terms of the current offices that Transmedia is residing, the buildings have been condemned. So I hope and trust you will have a look at that. Whether you still need to be renting out part of your real estate, or you could easily utilize part of your real estate in order for you to start to build back better as you work on the Transmedia headquarters. But part of the cost-cutting measures also includes ensuring that we leave this business of sleeping in hotels. Following each and every workshop, the propensity to sleep in hotels should come to an end as part of the cost-cutting measures. The propensity to travel to each and every workshop or each and every meeting, which could be held virtually, should obviously come to an end. This, in the new dispensation, I believe we should be able to allocate resources in terms of the correct priorities. The correct priorities means that we should be in a position to allocate resources towards the second phase of the Zim Digital project. Is that we need to marry the digital infrastructure master plan in broadcasting services to marry it with the digital infrastructure master plan in the ICT sector. Because we've reached the point of convergence whereby we need to share most of the passive infrastructure. Even outside that scope, we could still work together with the power utility, with municipalities, and many other institutions as part of the cost-cutting measures that will seek to ensure that we have total coverage of our country, but at a lower cost. But at a lower cost, driven by quality, but also driven by the need for us as a people to achieve media sovereignty